What up, what up, what up, what up, Rattler Nation, Rattler family. I am Ellis Dean, of course, and you're watching your favorite Thursday night's talk show about your favorite Florida A&M University Rattlers. And that is the Fang Exchange. And so you know we are the NIL collective associated with your Florida A&M University Rattlers. So go to fangexchange.com if you want more information. And we always want you to donate because our money, 95% of our money, of your money, sorry, your money goes directly to the athletes. And so if you seem I'm more subdued this evening, there's a reason for that because we suffered a loss this past weekend, and it wasn't just a loss; it was a loss to a SWAC opponent, a rival, Jackson State, and so um, it doesn't take us off of our goal because our goals are still in front of us. It just added another obstacle to our goal of winning the SWAC and going back to the Celebration Bowl. And so it is what it is. We cannot look backwards. We can only look forward. Rattlers always look forward. And so tonight we're going to be talking about what we can do. We're going to discuss the loss a little bit. We're going to be talking about what needs to happen in the future. We're going to talk about next week because it's homecoming. We got to defend our house. We must defend our house. Hey, Demetri. Um, and so we got to defend our house there in Bragg Stadium because, you know, we brag different. And also, we're going to be talking about some changes in NIL and what that means for us going forward. So, short show tonight. So, get in where you fit in. Of course, as we know, we do each and every week. We want you to drop in that semester, that year semester that you hit the hill, you hit the highest of 7 hills there in Tallahassee, Florida. Let us know. Or if you want to let us know where you're watching from, we like to know where people are watching from, or Rattlers are all across the nation and around the world. If you're watching us from around the world, drop that in the comment section. If you have any questions or comments about what happened last week, if you were in Jackson last week and just kind of want to talk about that, what that was like being in the heart of because I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta's in the South, but you go to Jackson, Mississippi, you in the South. With an F. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's you got to travel back in time to get to Jackson, Mississippi. Like Atlanta is like a metropolis. It's like an oasis in the South for Black folks. You go to Jackson, Mississippi, you know what it is. So give us a shout out. We like to know. I always like to know. And again, follow us on Twitter and Instagram or X, whatever they call it, at Fang Exchange. Also, you make sure if you're watching this program, you probably already follow us here on YouTube. But I'm not here by myself. I got my favorite co-host in the building, and that is my girl, Ashley C. What's up? What's up?
Good evening. We here. Good evening, Rattlers. How everybody doing this evening?
That's how she felt about the Rattlers, okay?
Frozen.
That's how Ashley felt about the Rattlers on last Saturday. She was frozen, so we get her back in the building. We'll definitely, there we go.
What I look like right now? Am I frozen still?
No, you're good. You are good.
You know, I would be honest and say, my while I was in the background, it was a little stalling, so it might be my connection on this side. So if you see me freeze again, just shout me out, and I'll pop out and pop back in.
We're gonna act like it's what's that song? Now freeze, and that's how I'm here for you.
We'll just act like it's a part of the show. We did it on purpose. Will Davis, what's up? Will in Atlanta.
North Atlanta, okay. That's what I'm talking about. Straight from North Atlanta, no side. So you were there in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, I was there.
What was the atmosphere like?
So
before and after. Okay, I know before the energy was there. We were going there expecting to win. What was
of course you're excited, expecting to win, but to be honest, the entire game, like they were friendly people, which shouldn't be a shock. You would expect that, right? Very hospitable, very nice, good environment. I would say that it wasn't as rowdy as I thought it would be. Kind of like I just thought it would be like Bragg is different. For sure. Bragg is it made me see even more that Bragg is different, and not necessarily on a slight to anyone else, but just the difference in the way environments are. it got really electric at the end when the game came down to the wire. Those last 3 minutes, it got extremely electric at that point because we didn't bring a whole lot of people with us, as it was obviously seen in pictures. We had a decent showing, but we didn't bring a whole lot of people with us. So got half of the stadium somewhat full, the other half somewhat not full. So that probably played a part of it. But overall, the environment was pretty cool. It actually felt kind of chill. We did our trash talking to the JSU folks that was on the side with us, as always. We were the band when we scored touchdowns. We were the band. We did our little chants when it was touchdown time. So we did our best to be make up for the fact that our band wasn't there and that it wasn't a home game. But overall, it was a good experience. I can't complain about anything except for the fact that we lost. I can complain about that, but I'm not going to because we're gonna bounce back. We all right. Like you said, it kind of put us in just put a hurdle in front of us. That's all. The goal is still a goal, right? We still walking out of here win after win. You don't lose one time and then decide to lay down. You just pick yourself up and you look towards your next win, which is Southern. So we're going back to Bragg.
Yeah, I think ultimately, as they say, all of our goals are still in front of us, right? We didn't
right.
We lost the game, but we didn't lose our ability to get back to Atlanta in a Celebration Bowl. What did happen is we're going to need some help. Because if Jackson State doesn't suffer another loss, doesn't suffer a SWAC loss, then that does put us in jeopardy. So we're going to need some help in order to get back to the Celebration Bowl. But I do think that, you got to have belief and faith that's going to happen. We want to shout out to Tamara T, Gail, Mary 305. I know we at 305. Little Baby 245. That's what's up.
Hey, we got our old faithfuls supporting every week. You never don't have to worry about whether or not they'll be here.
Oh, look, every week we're gonna have our faithfuls, and I'm gonna have my favorite social house vodka here.
It's gonna be some rituals and things we do every week.
There's gonna be some rituals here by social house. Y'all gonna know when I'm dropping the market by social house vodka. It is what it is. So
that's right.
But yeah, I'm just struggling with. If I have one complaint, this year, from what I've seen, we really miss Willie Simmons in terms of the offensive output. And I think early in these games, and even the games when Coach Simmons was calling plays and we would get down, we would make some halftime adjustments and the offense would come back in the second half and look a lot better. And that's how we were able to sustain the excellence that we had last year. And every year is different. Every season is different. I know that as a former athlete, I get that. You don't have to give me with the cliches. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying that the offense does look different, and it looks like it's harder to move the ball, harder to capitalize on turnovers. While when the defense does give them the ball back, and the plays don't seem as creative as they were previously under the last regime. And so you could say that it's definitely orientation of the coach, right? Because Coach Simmons was an offensive guy. He was a quarterback. He understands that side of the ball and has it was creative. Coach Colsey is a defensive guy. He was a defensive back. He played defensive guy, he's defensive coach, and you can see the defense is playing relatively well.
This is trending upward. Yep. Well, and that's the thing. Like that's what happens when you get a new regime. You kind of you get differences. Even when things are from within, you get differences. So one thing I think that the bright side is that we have people who are, in sports. I mean, I didn't play on the college level, but I played sports growing up most of my life. So you just look to be better, right? You look to, even when you blow someone out, you can always look for like, oh, I didn't make that pass. I didn't catch that ball. I didn't run that, whatever. So, it's EA always, you never gonna make himself known. But that's my guy. I had a chance actually to meet EA, in Jackson. That was a pleasant surprise. Some of the other Rattlers there, so it's always good to meet new Rattlers that we become friends online, and then you get a chance to go to a game and you get to meet these people that you just pretty much have made friends with. But overall, to me, I don't want to harp real hard on, of course, Jackson, because that was last weekend and we can move forward. But one thing I can say is that I'm looking for improvement. Like, I'm looking for us to come out and when it turns around, we gotta. I'm gonna bring this up on the screen while we're doing it. We're looking forward to a pink weekend, right? And we're looking forward to come back to Bragg, protecting our home turf as we've done for the last, I don't know how many years now, 5 or so years, longest win streak. So we have so much to play for. We have so much to be grateful for. Like, we're in a good position when you really consider the fact that it's a lot of fan bases who don't have a ring, a celebration ring, a bowl ring. They didn't have a Willie Simmons, at their disposal to dial up all those plays and just make last year magical. So to me, it's like, we the coaches and the players and even the fans saw how last weekend went. And then it's like, hey, just like life, you kind of dust yourself off and you say, hey, we're gonna get better because we know who we are, right? We know the talent we have on the team. That's not a question. We know that we have coaches who are capable. So the next thing is just to put it all together and make sure that we show up in our pink and that we show up ready to defend Bragg. Like that's one of the coolest things. Like Southern has a run game, right? And most teams in the SWAC have a run game. So those are things that we have to pay attention to, like keys to winning the game. Like home field advantage is already there, right? We already know that being in Bragg. But but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with EA. I think and it's okay to still be pissed. If you need to get something off your chest, go ahead. This is the forum to do that.
That's how you know it's really in your heart. You love it.
Yeah. So what's up, Ashton and Kenya? Thank you for joining us. I think that we need to. There's some things that we've got to do better, and if they ain't got that dog in them, EA, I think that's where coaching comes in, right? And so coaches can scheme it up, and sometimes it's the players themselves, right? And so we've got to make sure that sometimes the transfer portal, and we're going to talk about that tonight. I think the transfer portal is a great thing because we can get some very, very talented players,
right?
But as we're seeing in the pro level, we see what's happening with the Jets. They've got a lot of talented players, but they don't have a team. They got a roster. And what we've got to do,
that certainly happens.
And we've got to do when we bring in these transfer players out of the portal, great talent, but we've got to put them together, and the coaching staff's got to make them a team and not just a roster. Because if you get a roster, that dog doesn't have as many teeth in it. Right? Because they're not fighting for the orange and green. They're like, okay, I'm here, right? I'm gonna do my job.
And that's the thing. The portal can definitely help, and it can definitely be your Achilles heel if you're not careful. As like, and right, no, I'm not a coach. I've never had to put a team together. I played on some teams, and I know how to be a team player, but I don't know how to coach, right? Oh, and I can't say I don't know how to coach, but I haven't had to coach. So I'm pretty sure. Like, think about the dynamics of the portal, like. Think about the fact that I don't know if it came out, I think yesterday, where North Carolina A&T's like number one, the top defensive end is announced that he's jumping in the portal, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with that, but just imagine being a coach and your top tackler, defensive end guy announces in the mid-season that they're going to get in the portal. So just like I said here, like the portal gives and takes away, like. You have to figure out how to re-recruit your room, recruit through high school to get that baseline of your team, and then portals to plug and play places where you just need to, quickly help you to continue to win and be sustainable. But then you have athletes that are like literally your number one defensive player deciding to get in the portal. Didn't even wait for whatever reason. Like I said, we don't know in the workings of what led to this.
That says to me? He got a monetary offer. Right,
and it could possibly be that. So that brings in the NIL part, right?
Yes.
So that's why that portal and the NIL goes hand in hand. And sometimes it's not enough playing time. Sometimes it's, well, I like the school up here because they got better facilities and they have whatever. They get more players in the NFL to the next level and that thing. And then other times it's NIL, and sometimes it's all of it, depending on what level you go to. I see Lil Baby said that's what he's seeing. Like, you don't see all the offense isn't gelling correctly. Which, you know, like I said, I kind of sometimes steer clear of that because I don't want to, you know, interject what I think. But that portal midseason, it definitely is wild. But it's happening. And red shirt, and that's a new thing. Everybody wants the red shirt and save their season to use it at their next stop. And every athlete has their reasons, right?
What's the rule? You can, after what? There's so many games played. I think it's like 3 or 4 games. You can still redshirt.
4, I believe it's about 4. I think it's 4 games. I think it's definitely 4 games. That you have an opportunity to play. I guess probably see where your playing time is, see how the team works for you, and if you don't like it. And I'm all for choice. Like, some people don't like the NIL. Some people don't like the portal opportunity to get in the portal. I think that there always needs to be a balance of everything. Life is about balance, right? You can't have too much good, too much bad, too much, you know, after a while things go wrong, go in one direction, you got to balance it out. So for me, it's like, it's always another, you get in the portal, there's always opportunity in the back door.
I'm a Gen X baby, so I don't understand. Like, I don't like NIL. I don't like the portal. I know what it is. I know that's what it is. That's what we are now. But you have to adapt. If you are an adult, you got to evolve and adapt to it. Do I like it? No. Is it a necessary component of college sports? Yes. And so therefore, that's why we're here. That's why we have the Fang Exchange, that to try to offset the realm of college football right now. That man at North Carolina A&T deciding in the middle of the season that he's going to jump into the portal says to me that he got a monetary offer, and he's going to take it because he's like, he built up his brand enough to where some coaches that were probably recruiting him prior to him just choosing to go to North Carolina A&T, he stayed in contact with him because I know how these kids work, right? If you're getting recruited, there's not just one school recruiting you. There's multiple schools. And if those coaches down with the portal, they kind of stay sneakily in contact with you. Or you reach out to them and say, hey, coach, I'm not happy where I'm at. Well, they say, well, come on. Well, can you make me an offer? Next thing you know, $50,000. And with HBCUs, it probably doesn't take a tremendous amount to lure them away. Because
right. I could imagine it probably because the gap and the disparity and the resources, like, for example, EA, you know, made a comment about whether or not, you know, players who go to other schools, would they end up, you know, you end up being on the bench potentially, not getting the playing time potentially, whatever you might have been promised, it may not be fulfilled, and then you could have been doing something at your previous school. You could have been playing and being the man or whatever the case may be. So to be honest, you know, a lot of dreams are sold. Like you said, coaches are in ears. Coaches are calling moms and reaching out, and cousins and agents.
They lie. Coaches will tell you anything you want to hear.
They're doing it, and you have to
get you to sign, to get you to commit.
To get you there.
They got rid of the national letter of intent. They got rid of the national letter of intent in a lie. But they're gonna lie. They're gonna tell you whatever. You saw what happened at UNLV. When the quarterback left the team because he said that they promised him $100,000.
Right, it's happening more and more in different ways.
Yeah, they're gonna lie. They're gonna tell you whatever you want to hear to get, because they want talent. Coaches want talent, and they want a team full of talented players. So they're gonna say whatever they need to say. What you have to decide, what players have to decide, is what's the best fit for them, and they can't. And what parents and the people around them need to help them to understand is, you jumping from ship to ship to ship because that one looks better, the grass is greener. And I tell my son, he's an athlete too, and I'm like, look, the grass might be green on the other side, but the only reason why your grass ain't green is because you ain't watering it. You ain't fertilizing.
All you gotta do is water your grass.
You ain't putting enough work to make that grass green. You put in enough work, your grass gonna be green too, just like that grass on the other side of the fence, right?
Yeah, so and you need good counsel. These athletes in today's times need good counsel, and it doesn't appear that all the time that a lot of times that the people that are encouraging these decisions are good counsel. So then it does come back around. Sometimes, it works out perfectly, but likely you learn that the portal is a lonely place and it's a whole open hole that you get stuck in, and all the other 2, 3, 4,000 athletes who jumped in sometimes get stuck there and don't go. Either they don't go somewhere where they intended to go, or they end up, going in a lower division level, which doesn't serve the purpose of why they probably got in. So you just have to be careful, but that's the world we're in now. Kenya made a mention that the NCAA is, opened this up to where, there are no limits on the portal, and it'll probably get even more loose. Like, we're an NIL organization, right? We are not shy about asking for help from the fan base, the alumni base, businesses, entities who want to partner with our athletes. That is our sole purpose of being here, right? But we recognize that there also needs to be a way to be a happy medium so that coaches can develop and keep teams. If it's a revolving door every year, it makes it difficult to create winning programs. So then you got to create a culture that makes people want to be where you are. You have to win. You have to provide things. The institutions have to work hand in hand with the athletes. So it's so hard. I think I heard someone say this. Like, it's so hard to win a championship. It's not just, oh, we have all the best players on the team, we're gonna win. It's the moving pieces of the coaches, the program, the athletic department, administration, all the things come together and make the world go around to make it appealing.
Have to work together. I think that, so you have a good question. So with the jump to 105 scholarship for FBS, what does that do to HBCUs? If that's the truth, if that's passed, then that is going to make the talent pool available for HBCU players even lower. So that means that's going to put the burden on coaches, right? So now you're not going to be getting, HBCUs might get that occasional 4-star athlete. You got to find that diamond in the rough. So your scouting has to be a lot better, particularly in your zone around your area. Your scouting has to be a lot better. Hey, this player might be only a 3-star, but I see that dog in him that y'all were talking about earlier. You got to be able to get that out of him. And then you've got to be able to coach him up and maximize and put him in a scheme that's going to make that player. I'm going to make it all about football, but whether it's volleyball, whatever, female athletes are the same. You've got to put them in a scheme that's going to get the best out of them, and not just say, here's what I run, you got to run what I run. Oh, this player does this better. How do I put him in a situation where he can be the best that he can be? And so that's the other thing. If it was me, if you ask me, if I was running this whole situation, I would want players to get NIL, definitely, because they earned it. It's their bodies, it's their bodies on the line, not these coaches. But I would say they get like 25% of that money in their pocket, and the other 75% goes into a trust that they can tap into after their playing days. Because what can happen is you put that kind of money, because only the top players like Shedeur Sanders and all of Travis Hunter, they're making millions. When you're making millions, it doesn't matter what you're spending it on. But when you're only making a certain amount, particularly under 100,000, under 200,000, whatever that amount is, you as a student, I know I would have burned through that. Like, I'm serious. I would have bought some shoes. I'd have been living high in the hall. I'd have burned through that. And at the end of my career, I would have no money to show for it. So if I'm an athlete that's qualified and good enough to earn money at NIL, I would say over a certain amount, it needs to be put into a trust. And then after, I would let them have it either upon graduation. If they graduate and they walk across that stage to get a degree, then it's immediately available, or 2 or 3 years after they're done playing football. So if they don't graduate, then you have to wait 2 or 3 years, and then you can tap into that money, because NIL is really supposed to set these players up for a future. And if they're just getting money and they're burning through it in college, it's not doing them any good. And so our NIL collective, the Fang Exchange, we're supplementing what the players, because our players they're not making the top tier money.
Right.
We're supplementing their livelihood. And so that's why it's vitally important for you to contribute to the Fang Exchange, because this is a supplement for them. This is helping them get food and books and pay rent in off season when they can't have anything. That's what this money is going for. But at the major programs, I would say put it in a trust and let them get it later on.
Yeah, because our kids and I don't want to call them kids, but our athletes and young men and women, they get it. They know where their feet are. They know what area they're in. They recognize that, and that's the beautiful thing about them is that they actually understand where they are. And the Fang Exchange is a firm believer in financial literacy. It's actually a requirement in Florida to make sure that they're getting education on financial literacy, entrepreneurships, and learning about different organizations and businesses and ways to just be a good steward of your finances, right. Even when it's scholarship money, even when it's financial aid, whatever it might be. So that's the cool part, and that's the part that I enjoy about NIL. If I'm being honest, like not only do I enjoy making sure that they get what they deserve from a name, image, and likeness standpoint, but also that they get their taste at running as a business. The taxes that's important about it, saving money, taking care of yourself, helping out your girlfriend, boyfriend, maybe family members, and things of that nature that they usually wouldn't be able to do until they were, I'll either go professional or go get on the sports or go get a job. So NIL has a lot of pros, also has some cons that a lot of people don't care for, but overall we don't mind coming here to help educate and help these athletes understand the importance of that. This is a privilege, that this is an opportunity, that literally there's rarely everybody on any one team at any university, even FBS level, FCS, G5, that everybody gets some form of NIL, right? It's very rare. So that means it's a privilege because you might be one or two or three or four or five of the many. So those are the kind of things that we try to make an impression on. And those are the kind of things that across the board, if we can figure out how to make an impression on our current student athletes in this era where everybody's figuring it out. The NIL is 4 years old and it changes as quick as we can go to sleep and wake up. So next week is going to be a new rule or a new regulation, or every week, every month we learn something new. So I think it's pretty dope that we're able to kind of go with it, build this organization as it goes. There's no real blueprint, if you really want to be honest. There are some similarities, but it's an agency where Fang Exchange is a firm believer, but we understand business, so we know how to put our athletes in the right position, and we know how to make sure that they understand the importance of what we're doing with them through you all, through our fans and alumni base who are happy to contribute. So, with that in mind, I brought up the pink weekend, and I want to make sure I say something about that flyer again. I want to make sure it's up there because, of course, my internet is acting.
I got you. You got it. Okay.
A little time, but here's something unique. And this is just a side note. And I see your comment, Kenya, about being a CPA and the taxes portion of it. We mentioned that we want to.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a great point, Kenya.
That's a great point.
That's a great point.
We say we want to protect Bragg, but we also got to protect Lawson because our volleyball team is blazing right now. Completely blazing. I think they just came off of. They did an away game yesterday, but we got to protect Bragg and Lawson they both need to be protected for with our records between our volleyball team. And this is obviously women's volleyball. So Fang Exchange doesn't only support, we support football, we support women's basketball, we support volleyball, and we look to add additional athletes as we move along.
We actually want to add a volleyball player. We had a conversation.
We're working on stuff.
We're working on getting a volleyball player.
So it doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah. And so
the volleyball team, wow. Yeah, they are amazing.
And we want to get a player from that team to sign with the Fang Exchange and share that because we just had somebody from my era, from the 90s era, just get inducted to the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, and that was a volleyball player. And so we're having some conversations right now about getting a volleyball player. So this NIL, football dominates it. Football and basketball dominate it. But cool believe, we've got a women's basketball player as part of the Fang Exchange, and we're looking to sign a volleyball player. We want female athletes as well because we understand that some of the other kind of non-revenue generating sports at FAMU are having great seasons and are doing great things. Golf team is really, really good.
APR is amazing. They're doing well in classes. They're winning. So we definitely know that football is a big ticket item. But we also have a winning program, overall athletic program, in department, and that's the beautiful thing about being a Rattler. So, stay on the lookout because we'll be here. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep increasing the budget and increasing the opportunities to bring in more athletes and females. And I also want to. We told you we was going to have a quick show tonight, right?
No, so I want to bring. We're going to increase the budget, but we need y'all to increase the donations if we're going to increase the budget. But NIL.
Right. Get you a hat. A purchase of that hat right there helps us increase the budget. Now that's not the only way, but get you a hat. I have one on right now. We will homecoming is next week. We have Southern for football coming up this weekend. Volleyball team, we have a game this weekend as well. Hats will be on deck. You can buy one on the spot, match it with your favorite. I don't know how much it'll match with your pink this weekend, but it'll definitely match your orange and green.
But right that thing.
Homecoming.
Okay, what you mean? It okay? It go with pink. Orange and green go with
it don't matter how. Let's do it then. It don't matter. Get your hat. Get them now. So there will be. I see you, Kelvin. No losses in Lawson. That's right. Our volleyball team is blazing. I went to. I had an opportunity to be in town and go to a game. It was interesting. The game was so fast, Ellis. They beat the team. They beat them so. I think it was Bethune at that. The game was so fast. I walked outside to go to the car in like the last match, and by the time I walked back inside, it was over. The entire. I'm like, where y'all going? Everybody was leaving. I'm like, y'all ended the game that fast.
Dominant performance. Dominant performance, and that's what you need. When you got to win a program, you got to win a team. And I would tell my son, even to this day, I said, "What do you do to bums?" He said, "You beat bums. And if they're bums, you beat them off the court, right? You don't let them hang around. You don't let bums hang around."
It was not. It went for three sets, and it was in there, out of there. It was the fastest. I was like, "No, this is amazing. I didn't even need to go to the car. I could have just stayed."
Okay.
What's up, JT?
What's up, JT? So
that's what you're supposed to do. But anyway.
All right. So we're wrapping this show up early tonight. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're going to do a special edition early next week. So we're not going to be on Thursday.
Early.
Homecoming kicks off really on Thursday. So we'll be in Tallahassee. Really. We'll be in Tita. I'm coming down on Thursday afternoon. I'll be in Tallahassee on Thursday afternoon. So we're going to do our show on Tuesday night. So Tuesday, we're going to move off our schedule on Thursday. We're going to go on Tuesday night, at 9 o'clock Tuesday, and we have a special homecoming announcement for you on Tuesday night. So you do not want to miss. Mark your calendar.
Yep.
Set the alarm. Hit that little bell button on the thing so you know when we're going live. Whatever you need to do. Tuesday night, we have a special huge announcement. We've been working on. We've been teasing this for weeks.
Yeah, we've been teasing this for a couple of weeks now. Now it's time. We here now.
And we finally going to be able to drop this bomb in y'all. So please come on Tuesday night. Let us know. I'm sorry. I just saw that post, but Lord Jamal.
Yeah. Don't miss it. That's how it's been with volleyball.
That's how we get it. That's right. We chop it up. We chop it. So Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Yeah.
Keep in mind, Thursday is our normal cadence. We'll be hanging out. We'll probably be with each other, most likely. So no, we won't be. No, we won't be here because we'll probably be together somewhere.
I'll be in Tallahassee, and Ash and I are hooking up in Tallahassee Thursday night. If you want to catch a boy, I'll be at the party at Railroad that evening at the bottom of the hill. So the old school party there at the bottom of the hill. So if you want to see me, if you see me there, run up on me and be like, "Hey, look, Ellis, I see you on the show, and let's take a picture." I'm open like that. I don't it's all Rattlers, it's all family, it's all love. So
it's all love. It's all love.
Look,
and that's a cool thing. Hey,
don't forget us.
They also have
where we get wings at. Look,
they also have the family. Oh, you getting your wings?
Yeah, what we getting the wings at? Like what we getting the wings?
A-Town. It's the A-Town wings, right? We get A-Town, right?
A-Town wings. All right. So I'm gonna get some A-Town wings while I'm there in Tallahassee. Got to get to A-Town because that's what some of our athletes are saying. That's where they go. So we're gonna go to A-Town wing. I got my new ink. Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw my new ink.
Oh, we see.
Yes, that's a rattler.
Is that a rattler?
I got a rattler on my yes. I got a rattler. All my thing right there. So just got that done, ready for homecoming. So we're good. We're good, yeah. So I'm 100% in. I got to rattle my arms. I can't do that. It's there now. It's there now. Freeze!
You're serious about that thing. Serious about it. But yeah, don't forget. Let's pack brag this weekend, and then we'll turn around and do it again the next weekend for starting early in the week for homecoming. So remember,
where you
Tuesday.
think this weekend? I just saw that homecoming is orange out. Was it orange and green out? So I think it's orange for homecoming. So do what y'all need to do. Lindy's
I could be wrong because I'm not in I think they have one location still open. I know they closed.
They have one location still available.
I know my girl Demetria was gonna be able to help me on this one. Oh yeah, she said Lindy's is a Rose Motel. Lord Jesus.
Rose Motel, but the ones are fire. I think she's gonna give me a 4-piece with some mashed potatoes and gravy and fries.
Them tenders was good. Them tenders was hit too now.
Yeah.
We're sticking with A-Town for now. We're gonna give A-Town a try.
You saw the Rose. I used to go to Shingles. I'm old enough to know when Shingles was open.
Oh, you had the Shingles, huh?
Okay, I had the Shingles. So.
I think where was Shingles? Where was it located?
Down bottom of the hill. Like it was back off the road. You had to go on the dirt road. What was that? Not Warnish. God, dog. What's the street that runs right in front of SBI?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. If you keep going,
think of it, but
you keep going down that hill, and then right before you get to the light, you had to go off to the left. It was like a dirt road off of Gamble. That's right, off of Gamble.
Okay.
It was a little dirt road, and you would go behind these trees, and it was literally like if you heard of the word juke joint, that's what Jingles was, because you would go in there and it was like a house. It had like a screen door, and you walk in there, it would be a big garbage can full of ice and water and quart. So you would reach in there and get your little King Cobra, or you get your quart, and you get your 4-piece of fries. And boy, that was good living right there. That was
absolutely. Lindy's, it's on Lafayette Street now. That's right, Kelvin. The only Lindy's is on Lafayette. But Tallahassee, I mean, Tallahassee. When anybody who hasn't been to Tallahassee in a while, it's gonna look very unfamiliar in a lot of ways. Tallahassee is different, and they're doing some work now on Tennessee Street. On that street.
The lines. I think for me, the hardest thing to adjust to is there used to be a hard line between FAMU and FSU because that college town didn't exist when I was there. So you had the railroad track, and then you had like a couple of like rinky dink, and there was like some space, and then you got the FSU. Now with college town being there, all of those hotels and restaurants and residences, that line has been blurred. So you don't know where FAMU ends. Well, you kind of do know where FAMU ends and Florida State begins, but it's really harder to see that. It was a harder line of demarcation between the two. That's the biggest thing that I've seen. Some of the street names have changed. Like Gail is saying Gamble is now Trudy Perkins Way. And
Warnish has changed.
What is it? Althea Gibson now?
Althea Gibson Way. I love the honor, the way they honored her, but it'll still always be Warnish to us.
He's Warnish to me.
The campus has got some upgrades in the building, and they're still building. That's right. Gail said they're still building too.
Y'all keep your fingers crossed. I'm trying to convince my son, who is a senior, graduating senior this year out of high school. I'm trying to get him to go down to FAMU, and so
we gotta get him. We gotta get him in the fold. We gotta get him in.
And so y'all call the track coach. I need for him to. I need to run a little track over there at FAM, and live in one of those new dorms that they got opening up in 2025. Yeah. So
okay. Well, don't forget, go support FAMU football this weekend. Don't forget to support FAMU volleyball this weekend. It's all happening. We support both. Both teams are doing amazingly well. And we got to support. We got to keep it up, and let's look forward.
I've already got him down here. So, Gail,
Gail said you said Friday.
This is the last story we tell that we got to go. So, a couple years ago, I took him to homecoming. He was not having a good experience because he was young, and it was like I was doing my thing, but it was hard. I was trying to take him around, and I was showing him the history. He was like, yeah, he wasn't feeling it. But then I hooked him up with one of my freshman class brothers. His son was at FAMU. His son is now the SGA vice president. Y'all know DK. DK
I
Wade.
think I met him too a couple Fridays ago too.
So we were out at the tailgate before the game. DK says, "Oh, my son's name is Cameron. Hey, Cam can come in the game with me." I said, "Cam will go in the game with DK. He'll take you in the game." He goes into the game. He comes out. He got a Kool-Aid grin on his face, and he starts looking up. He want to go to Fang. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't even ask him what happened in the stadium. I just know he just got that. He got that Rattler love. And I said, because I asked DK a couple, like a year or so later, I said, "What happened when y'all went to the game?" It was because when Cameron went in, he was not happy. When he came out, he was singing family praises. He just started laughing. And I said, "You know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. Don't tell me.
Can't even tell you.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'm just
tell
happy that family got on his list, and so he's legitimately serious about it. He just got a fantastic score on his SAT. Very, very proud of him for that accomplishment. So that's a big hurdle that can get him in it. And then so if we get and he's a fantastic. He plays two sports. He's a track and baseball. So, but FAMU, I think track is his favorite sport out of the two, and so we're trying to get him to talk to the track coach and see if there's a space for him on that squad. And so hopefully he'll be there, and I will have a Rattler legacy because his grandfather, my wife's father, went to FAMU, and his grandmother went to FAMU, and so me and then hopefully him, that'd be third generation of a FAMU grad. So we're very, very hopefully we can get him to go there.
We'll be working on him. We'll get him on over. We definitely will.
All right, y'all. So we'll see y'all Tuesday, 9 p.m. Big announcement. Tell your friends. We see all the folks in here. We want our regulars, and tell all the regulars, all your Kel, Gail, Frank, all y'all, bring a friend with you. We got a big announcement. Bring a Rattler.
Don't forget. We're gonna make sure we send a reminder too.
Yes. Holla at y'all.
Peace.